nothing like the beat of tribal drums to stir the blood of an adventurer. Add to this mysterious island set in the middle of the Pacific, massive fish and unbelievable diving. Then mix in elements of danger and drama, and this could only be called an angling adventure.
Oh, bugger!
Join us on an angling adventure not to be missed. Tahiti and the islands of French Polynesia are really what people expect from a tropical island paradise, with swaying palms and blue water. The picture postcards of this fantastic area really don't do it justice. Our adventure started in absolute luxury at the Sofitel Hotel. It was hard to leave the beautiful pool and air-conditioned comfort to go to town. The capital, Papeete, is the hub of any visit to Tahiti, and the bustling local market is filled with fresh produce, souvenirs, and heaps of interesting shops. And of course we had to visit the local tackle store.
We embarked on the first leg of our journey, a cruise on board the Aranui 3, which serves to take travellers to some of the remotest islands in the Pacific, and also carries vital supplies to these outermost islands. There were 4 of us on this adventure: my husband Adam, who is a highly experienced tropical angler, free-diving Sparrow Darren Shield, and his wife Alison.
Little did my wife Nikki know that this was going to be an adventure of a lifetime for her. She'd be challenged and tested in many ways. We steamed overnight to our first port of call. Whakarava is one of the many atolls that make up the Tuamotu archipelago. This is a very typical atoll sitting only a few metres above sea level. To see the crew unloading the cargo was like watching a military operation. They were all really well drilled, and their seamanship with the barges was superb. We were on shore for only a couple of hours, so we hopped onto a small boat with a couple of locals to go for a snorkel on one of the local reefs. soon as we jumped into the crystal clear water, we were greeted by a healthy garden of living coral and a fantastic array of tropical fish. As Nikki was mesmerised looking at all these fantastic fish, she didn't notice some of the larger inhabitants of the reef coming to check us out.
At first, I was nervous at the sight of the sharks, and I remembered something that I was told, that you remain calm and still. Soon, there were at least half a dozen sharks swimming around the reef.
As well as the countless small species of fish, there were many larger species like coral trout, red bass, and various trevallies.
Although I felt very cautious, I held on to Adam, and with Darren being close by gave me a sense of security.
While one of the black-tip reef sharks started circling and getting closer and closer. The sharks gaining confidence and having a distinct look of hunger in their eyes, we decided to get out and move to a spot in the passage just on the outer reef so that Darren could go for a spearfish. The water here was again teeming with life and lots of large predators.
Snorkeling off a coral reef, and what a wonderful experience it was. I wouldn't believe that I actually would have done it myself, not being a snorkeler, but it was so clear, so beautiful, and the fish, what a variety of fish. There was little colourful ones to big, huge ones, and would you believe I swung amongst sharks, which I never ever in my life thought I would have done. But it's so graceful, just floating around.
Big fish.
What did they do?
Fighting.
It is a big one. Tuna, big tuna.
Banana shark. Good.
You Oh, perfect!
You got it.
What fish is it? Oh my god! Half a tuna. Oh, thank God I got it.
Do you want this ladder?
That was unbelievable. We're on the outside of the reef at Whakarava in the Tuamotus. And we've come to the outside of the reef, and there's big dogtooth everywhere, just going up and down outside the reef and amongst the schoolfish. And this big dogtooth come in, and I shot him, and he just took all my gear and it disappeared, and I thought it was gone forever. but the sharks killed the tuna, or bit his tail off. And my float came back up, and they're fighting the fish all the way up. I was pulling him, trying to keep it away from him. My mate here coming up, he was fending the sharks off for me while I retrieved what's left of the dogtooth. But oh, what a spot, blue water, big doggies. There's just fish everywhere, it's unbelievable. So that's what's left of my dogtooth. There was about 4 sharks on it. So they obviously bit his tail off when he was right down deep, and then bit that chunk out of him, but they were going for it all the way up. I just had to pull my float line as fast as I could and try and haul them out of the way of the sharks, but it was a bit wild in there for a minute. Fortunately, my old island mate here, he was fending them off while I got the fish. But, if the sharks hadn't bitten his tail off, I dare say I would have lost all my gear, because the last time I saw my float, I'd estimate my float would have been at 40 metres. The big hippo float, so it wasn't inflated very well either. So, lesson learned, make sure your floats are inflated well. But you can see why they call them dogtooth. Big teeth.